Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here to represent Medai Trust, but even a greater pleasure to welcome into this sector a new organization. So congratulations and welcome on board. We need as many hands as we can to take this fight forward. The Medai Trust started in 2006, and it began with a Catholic nun who was working in Southampton, and she saw women who were into prostitution, and she got to talking to them and found out that many of them had not been there by choice. In fact, quite a few of them had been trafficked and could not escape the people who were using them. And Sister Anne Teresa, as her name is, decided that she wanted to reach out to them. And so at Christmas time, she would have a lunch at the church and invite them all to have lunch with her at the church where she was working. And then she decided that she needed to do much more because she listened to their stories and wanted to help them. And so she began giving talks around the country at various parishes. And she said, you know, what I would like to do is to provide some refuge to these people. And after one of those church talks, a couple came up to her and they said, you know what, we have a house in Southampton that we are not using. We bought it as a retirement home, but it's there. What do you think about starting a safe house? And she said, that's a brilliant idea, yes. And so the first Medai Safe House began in Southampton with a donation of that house, and it is still going today. But over the years, Medai stretched its wings, and it now has 10 safe houses. One safe house was opened just last year, and in April and May, in May we opened another one, and then at the end of May, we extended the one in Mersey in Liverpool to include 10 more rooms. And so the charity is looking to expand even further and further to provide accommodation. Medai Trust operates on the three principles. It describes it as the 3 Ps: prevent, protect, pursue. We can talk all we want about modern slavery, but the trigger for modern slavery globally is poverty. That's why people get trapped. That's why people are fooled into thinking that they are coming to a bed of roses and then find themselves in a basement growing cannabis. And so if we don't address the poverty issue, then we will always have modern slavery. And so Medai Trust began a project last year working in Albania. And those of you who have followed the news about modern slavery, Albania is the second largest number of people who come here as a result of modern slavery are from Albania. In fact, actually, I'm wrong. It has recently taken over the UK. The biggest group of people who are in modern slavery is actually UK nationals. Yes. About 27% of people in modern slavery are actually vulnerable UK nationals. And then 24% are from Albania. The other big group is Eritrea, but that's only about 7%, but still that's too much. And then we have Vietnamese, which are about 5 or 6%. And then we've got Sudanese as well. So those are the major groups. So we're trying to reach out to them. So what Medai Trust did is it launched an entrepreneurship academy in Albania, which works with small companies, cottage industries, little companies, to expand and grow sustainably their businesses so that they could provide more jobs. And recently, as of last month, we decided to invest in a small company which buys local produce from people, and they dry them and then resell them. So it's providing jobs for farmers who would have nowhere to sell their crops. And it's in one of the poorest regions of Albania. One of the things that we're investing in is a dryer, a commercial dryer, which dries out the stuff, and I don't know much about them, but that's the premise. And so what it does, it'll dry out the things, and then the company will be able to expand. So prevention is striking at poverty. The second thing about prevention is sort of what we are hoping to achieve in collaboration with this group is awareness. As many people as you can tell, modern slavery is an unseen problem. It happens in car washes, it happens in restaurants, it happens in cafes, nail bars, you name it. It is in small businesses where it is rampant a lot. And we need to be able to look out for the signs and raise awareness. Then Medai Trust, at the protection level, it has the 10 safe houses which I referred to earlier. And they provide homes for people who are escaping modern slavery. Aside from the houses, we have 6 social hubs, which after they've left the houses, they often need help to assimilate and to integrate into wider society. And that may be things as simple as reading and writing. We have somebody from Bangladesh who didn't know how to read and write in her own language. We are now helping her to learn to read and write, and also to do it in English language. And so this is called the Moving On Project, works side by side with the safe houses to give them the opportunity to rebuild their lives after that trauma. And finally, Saf, I'm not going to take too much longer, and finally, Pursue. It's about helping people who have been exploited get the justice that they want. And very often they're afraid to testify. Medai Trust works with the police. We have a collaboration with the Crown Prosecution Service. We've been talking to them about getting evidence. And so we have about 20 of our staff who are trained to talk to victims and to get their testimonies and evidence, which can be admitted in court. So those are the sort of broad areas, and we are very much looking forward to working with this group, and we wish you all the best. And we look forward to hearing more about your progress. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Excellent.